Okay, we're here. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the big show. It's the big show here for Monday, February the 12th, 2024. Welcome to Traveling with Bruce, TWB. Got on one of my original shirts on here from way back when. It's nice to have you all with me tonight. From wherever you are in the world, thank you. Say hi to me. Tell me what's your temperature today. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button if you can. How's winter treating you? Are you guys getting a warm winter or a cold winter? What are you getting? It's been weird this year. I know in the Northeast it's been wacky. In Calgary, there was a real cold snap for several weeks, and now it's nice again. And oh my gosh. Here in sunny Palm Desert, California, and I'm saying sunny, we're fine. We're in the upper 60s right now, going into the mid 70s in the next week. So like moving every day a little warmer, a little warmer. The days are getting longer. The sun's angle is getting higher. Outside, if it's 65 degrees out and you go for a walk, you feel the heat of the sun on your head and body because the angle is rising. It's quite interesting. Anyway, the heat will come. That's for sure around here. We don't have any rain here, so we're very happy about that. And I hope everyone in your family is doing well, and it's all good. Thank you for popping by, and thanks for these thumbs ups that you guys are handing out. It's much appreciated, and I hope you're doing okay. Last week we did it again. It's incredible. Yet again, the 100 thumbs up came through, or 100 thumbs ups came through. So cool. From those of you watching, especially on the rerun, I gotta say thank you for that. Gotta give out all my hearts to all of you out there for helping out with the thumbs ups. It is very much appreciated. Thank you all so very, very much. I love you. Welcome to the program, and nice to have you here today. Let's just take a peek here at commentary. Robert is as usual, was one of the first here. As always, I gave a thumbs up on number one. Thank you, sir. Sharon, number three tonight, hunkering down before the nor'easter. So there's some weather. We're likely in the 1 to 3 inch band right now, but not far from much bigger totals of snow. Tommy Eaton is here. I'm number 4 on that thumbs up meter, buddy. Thank you, my friend. Ken Kareka, Ken and Jen from Saginaw. How you doing, friend Janet? The temperature is 34 degrees, and it's clear here. Snow expected Thursday. Gas is $3.26 a gallon. Good evening, Janet and Ken. I got something in the mail that arrived here the other day from Saginaw, Michigan. Thank you so very much. Thank you. And again, very kind words for Jennifer's recovery. Thank you so very much. You guys are just terrific, and she wanted me to pass her regards on to both of you, and thank you both very much for your kind note and your wonderful gesture. She's coming along really well. We were talking about this today, Jen and I. As a matter of fact, today I was in this computer room working on something, and I got up and had to get a little bit of a beverage to drink, and I'm watching Jen walking up and down the hallway. No walker, no cane. She's walking up and down the hallway. I said, well, looks like someone's getting in a stroll. She says, yeah, I'm getting my exercises in right now. Pain-free, but limited time frame. She's good for a couple of minutes, and then she's got to sit down. So she's coming around, building it up. She's mainly walking around the house with a cane now. The walker is in the bedroom just sitting there. It's usually just her cane that she's using now. And, she wants a coffee. She just gets up and makes one. She doesn't want to bother me to make her a coffee. She would rather get up and do it herself just to get the stretching of her, her joints and be moving a little bit. It's great. Tomorrow is her weekly physiotherapy session day. She's down to 1 a week now, and she's very, very happy about the strength training there. And the game plan here is in about a week from now, roughly, she has her visit with her surgeon, her post-op look-see. And he is likely going to give her the green light when he sees her next week you can head into the pool, you can head into the hot tub, and you can do exercises, stretches in your swimming pool now. And no problem. You go for walks when you want to take a walk. If you want to go shopping, go shopping. Feel tired, sit down. You feel really tired and you want to go shopping, right? Get one of those electric buggies they give you. But you're working your way back now. So that's what we expect a week from now for her green light. So yeah, it's great. It's just great. We're really happy. Robert, it's 35, cold, and it's going to snow tomorrow. Oh man, Daniel Fields. Hello everybody. Hi Daniel. Danielle, Kirk Bronson's YouTube and Facebook channel. The man is in the house. Hi there, Bruce. I'm here. I'm working. Welcome, sir. Nice to have you. Danielle, thumbs up for you. Sharon, I'm glad to hear that Jen is recovering well. Larry Blake, number 16, thumbs up, Bruce. 42 degrees here, waiting on the snow, but it's raining right now. There you go. Oh, my. Terrible. Well, so what can I tell you? It's beautiful here, as it should be. That's why we pay the bucks to be here. Pretty darn nice, and we've survived Super Bowl, like I'm sure you all have as well. And we move on. We just move on now into mid-February and move forward. Jen and I were talking about our holiday travels, just in generic terms. I said to her, I don't want to put any pressure on you at all. I am so pleased at how fast you are recovering versus last year. This is light speed compared to last year. The way it's going, it looks to me like we could be planning a trip in the next month or two, maybe 2 months from now. We could actively be talking about what are we doing for the summer. And when I know, you will know, and we'll go from there. What are we doing next winter? Same thing. We're going to find out in probably the next week to 6 weeks. 1 month to 6 weeks from now, we will know whether, if Jen is pain-free in her hips, that'll be a given. That I'm sure that's an automatic. No pain in the hips, great. Where's the pain now? Is there any pain? And if so, where and what is it? If it's one of her knees, and all it requires is once every 6 months you get one of those injections, which she's had before. She's going, if that's all I need, I'm a happy camper. That would be great. Give me a new knee injection, and I don't have any pain for 6 months until the next one. No pain again. Oh yeah, let's go. So crossing our fingers, we'll keep you posted, and hopefully we'll do a meet and greet here in Southern California between now and April. As soon as we know, we'll fill you in where and when, and we'll go from there. All right. Okay, there is the story. Sharon, Kevin is here, busy working on his newest book, returning to the Mike Stoneman series. Sharon, moving on equals baseball season. There you go, baseball. There's no crying in baseball. Yeah, indeed. Fantastic. Yes, moving on. Football's over. Baseball is next. Of course, we're concentrating on hockey now, of course, and Jen noticed this morning that there was a quote out of the Pittsburgh Steelers website that said the 2024 season has now officially begun. They're moving on to next year now. Pittsburgh is done with 2023-24. They're moving on to 24-25. There you go. They're moving forward. Okay, moving on is right. Cruise news and info. I was looking up some stuff today. I thought I would show it to you. Rocky, good point here. Football's over. Pitchers and catchers report tomorrow. There you go. I was looking over some info that I thought I would share with you today. There's a there's a website out there that tracks where cruise ships are, and it's pretty handy. I think it's called Cruise Mapper. And earlier today, I grabbed a couple of images from their app, and I thought I would take a peek at it and show you something that I found interesting. First of all, let me show you this right here. You should be able to see that. Okay, there you go. This is a map of basically North America, the Panama Canal. I'm just going to move over here so you can almost see my face. This here is the Florida Panhandle, Mexico, Cuba, the entire Caribbean, and all the way down to the Panama Canal. Now, all of those pink-colored triangular things there are actually cruise ships, and those are all Carnival cruise ships. That's where the location of a good majority of the Carnival ships are right now. If they are a triangle, then we're talking about a cruise ship at sea. If you're looking at a red dot, and you'll see a red dot where Galveston is, and a couple of red dots in Mexico, one in the Keys, the Florida Keys, that means the ship is not moving. That is a ported ship that's either visiting a port or involved in disembarkation and embarkation. In other words, a turnaround port. So I'm assuming Galveston is a turnover, and the Mexican ports and Key West are just visitations, and those ships will be back at sea probably by now. So what I did was I clicked this image to see where the Carnival ships are, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to show you now where the Royal Caribbean ships are, but instead of eliminating the Carnival ships, I'll just show you the Royal Caribbeans in light green. So all those light green units, all those triangles and dots, those are Royal Caribbean ships. And you can see there was one way down in Barbados. There's one in Aruba, a couple in Mexico. Florida's got several. Obviously, some are ported in the Bahamas and Miami doing the turnaround. All right, now here's your next cruise line. These are dark green triangles. It may be hard to make those out, but there's about 5 or 6 dark green ones. Princess Cruise Lines. You can see Princess is also in the region, and you'll notice that as we add cruise lines, how busy is it this time of year in the Caribbean. The next one is Holland America in yellow. See those yellow triangles? There's like 3 near the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos area there, and there's one down by Aruba. I think there's just 4, and then there's one in Panama. If you look at the very bottom of the map there, you'll see near the Panama Canal, there's one down there. Okay, the next color would be orange, and those are Norwegian Cruise Line ships in orange, and they're scattered about the Caribbean. But you can tell here this sort of pattern. You can see from Florida, then over towards the Bahamas a little bit there, kind of like this angle here, heading all the way down to Saint Martin and Barbuda, and then come around the Leeward Islands towards the northern tip of South America and up Mexico. You can see here's the next batch. We're almost done here. We're talking now purple colored arrows. Those are Celebrity cruise ships. That's owned by Royal Caribbean. So we've got Norwegian in orange, Royal Caribbean in light green, and purple for Celebrity. Those are Royal Caribbean's ships scattered about the Caribbean area. And one more, MSC, the European Cruise Line, in light blue. There's a number of blue dots showing up there right at this point, and there's a blue triangle near the top there coming south. And I guess there's about 6 or so MSC ships, maybe 7 in the Caribbean this time of year. One in Jamaica there. Dominica's got one. One's sailing just north of Cuba. There's a couple in the Miami area, and then one's coming down the coast. So it looks like 6 or so are on this map, and that's the extent of this particular map. I wanted to give you an idea. The main brand, the big brands. I didn't put in Disney, and I don't have Cunard in there, but the bigger cruise lines with most of the ships. Here you are. It's that time of year, and you sure can see where they are plying their trade all over the Caribbean, as you can see for yourself. Busy time of year. All right, there you go. There's that one. Now here's a shot for you of Australia and New Zealand, and just north of Australia to the just over to the left there, you'll see Indonesia. You'll see Malaysia. And again, these colors are identical to the other map. The light green ships are Royal Caribbean. The dark green are Princess or P&O Princess. The pink colored would be Carnival. The yellow would be Holland America. The orange is Norwegian. There's one in Tasmania, just south of Australia, and one up in Singapore area up there. And there's a Holland America also up by Japan at the very top. You'll see one at the very, very, very top in the middle. So it looks like there's about 3 Holland America, maybe 4. There's one at the tip of New Zealand. 4 Holland Americas down there as well. Interesting. Now, I have another little thing to talk to you about. This I'm going to show you this illustration if I can. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right. This is earlier today of cruise ships down in South America and the Antarctica area. Okay. You can see various colored ships, cruise lines, some of them in gray. I can't identify them off the top of my head. It's not important to what I want to tell you about, but you'll notice that off the very tip of South America, there's a sort of a straight line that ships sort of head down to, I guess. They're coming down like that. I don't know. Everything's backwards for me, so I can't tell you. And they're heading down to the tip of Antarctica. Now, you'll notice there's one ship down by the Antarctica region, but it's off to the side, and it's the orange-colored ship. That's the Norwegian Star. And let me isolate it for you. There she is right there, the Norwegian Star cruise ship. Story is breaking on this one the last couple of days. It started to hit the news wires, and you might hear more about it. So the cruise ship, the cruise line sold for the last 2 years an itinerary for the Norwegian Star. And that you would start your trip in South America, Uruguay, Argentina, and make your way down to the tip of South America. And then this ship was supposed to go to Antarctica. Now, let me just go back one frame showing you this map here. You might notice that on the very tip of Antarctica there is a big collection, probably 10 ships with several dots there. That is actually part of Antarctica, okay? And that's where most of these ships go to. If you're going to sell cruisers on the notion that you're going to go to Antarctica, it's that area you're going to go to. Well, I got bad news. This ship here didn't get there. You might notice that where the orange triangle is now, just behind it was a little squiggly U-turn they did there. That is not Antarctica. That's a group of islands that is not part of Antarctica. That's part of South America still. And the ship at the last minute informed the passengers who had paid top dollar to go to Antarctica that the ship was not going there. The ship had been placed on something called a go slow order from headquarters. Miami told the ship that it can't go more than 19 knots in speed per hour. And that meant the ship would not make it back on time if it went all the way to Antarctica as scheduled. And to say the passengers are a little upset is an understatement, because apparently there is no weather issues down there. Tons of ships there now. There's no directive from any force to not go at regular speed on the open seas. There's no indication that the cruise line has an engine problem. Nobody has said a word about an azabod problem or something else. This ship is now heading to the Falkland Islands. I believe, I'm not sure what other islands are going to, but the itinerary has been blown out. and the Antarctic is out. And apparently, this particular ship is going to have 2 more sailings, each for 2 weeks coming up, and supposed to be doing this. Both are altered and have been completely changed out, and this is not going over very well with these passengers. Apparently, the folks on the ship have paid anywhere from $4,000 each to $14,000 each for the Antarctica experience. And I have a feeling that that included getting off the ship at the Antarctica location and walking on some ice floes, probably going on pontoons and that kind of thing. All canceled, and no answer, no refunds, no nothing being offered to the passengers of the Norwegian Star. From what we're told, what I'm hearing so far is the cruise line is saying, crap happens, poop happens, and we just can't. There things come up, and the question is, what's coming up here? What's going on? I don't know what the story is. Anyway, there's the story from this ship right here. I don't know what to make of it. I've got a theory, but I can't back it up with any facts. Louise wants to know if I ate any snacks last night. We bought a cherry topped cheesecake from Costco. That's been kind of tasty the last couple of days. Kevin, hi, Uncle Bruce. Bracing for snow here in the central New Jersey, but overall a pretty mild winter. Thumbs up, number 22. Loved that Super Bowl game last night. That was fun. Thank you, my friend Tom Henry. Hi, everybody. There's Tom. Can't wait for the next Mike Stoneman novel. Love the series. Fantastic. Anyway, guys, the Carnival ship is restricted to 19 knots. And the question is this a cost-cutting move? Because that's where I'm coming to right there. If there is nothing mechanically wrong with the ship, and there's nothing weather-wise to bar the ship from getting to the place, plus the fact that there are almost 20 ships there now. I mean, so this is the height of the season down there. There's no reason why Carnival can't be down there. Then there's got to be something else. And the question I have is Miami putting out directives to certain Carnival ships to sail at 19 knots maximum speed to save money? That's what I want to know. Is this a money move? Now, look, you've just upset a whole bunch of people who paid up to $14,000 each to go to Antarctica. These guys have got a PR nightmare on their hands. The next 2 cruises they're already saying we're not going to Antarctica. Yet they marketed the cruises to go to Antarctica. I mean, these cruises go for a premium dollar. These are not discount cheapo cruises. These are primo. And then you don't go, and you're within 200-300 miles of getting there, and you don't go. What the hell's going on? And so I'm wondering, is Norwegian having money problems? That's what I want to know, because I have a suspicion that with what I've been hearing lately and what I've been seeing lately on some of these press releases that have been released by Norwegian, ships are being pulled from Europe back to North America. They're using North American ports as a majority of their shipping. I think that that's telling me they want to only deal with American-paying customers. They want to have shorter distance cruises, Caribbean, maybe Alaska cruises. They want to maximize returns and minimize expenses. Buy fuel out of America, buy food and alcohol out of America, lower taxes, lower surcharges, and something tells me that might be the move. They've got billions and billions and billions of dollars in debt that they have to roll over going forward the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And I'm worried or wondering if their bankers, their backers in Wall Street are saying to them, look, guys, you have a problem, because the debt that you issued 5 years ago to 7 years ago that's coming due in the next year, 2 and 3, those bonds that you sold were sold to pension funds, hedge funds, and mutual funds that can only buy bonds that can be insured for payment. Your bonds are now junk bonds. Your bonds have been downgraded to junk status, and in many cases cannot be insured at all. So pension funds cannot roll over the money they have with you into a new 7-year or a new 5-year bond. When your 5-year bond matures next year, you got to pay these guys off and find somebody else that will lend you 500 million or a billion or $2 billion to roll over this portion of your debt. And I'm worried for a Norwegian that they're already seeing the writing on the wall, that fewer and fewer lenders are willing to lend money to a company that can only issue junk bonds, and that without insurance, these interest rates are going to be 12, 14, and 16%. That's what I'm wondering. I'm just Uncle Bruce, the financial guy, putting his hat on here, going, is it possible that Norwegian has been read the Riot Act from their brokerage friends, their banking friends in New York, saying, guys, we can't raise any more money for you guys from the California Teachers Pension Fund. We can't raise any more money for you from the pension plan for the United States government. We can't raise money for you for the teachers from Illinois, the firefighters from New York. None of these guys can lend you money because your bonds are junk bonds. And that is against their caveats for putting investments out. They can't lend you money. They're not going to buy your stock. They're not going to buy stock from you because your stock is common stock. It has no value if your company goes under. And I worry that Norwegian right now is on a cost-cutting binge where they've raised prices all over the place. As you know, they've cut services all over the place. Room stewards are cut back. Tips are now 20%. Gratuity charges $16, $18, $20 a day, depending on what suite you're in. Higher drink fees, higher internet fees, how far can you go? You can only raise cash, raise your prices so much, and then you can cut back services. And one way to cut back is to limit ships to 19 knots, because the difference between a ship going 22 knots or 23 knots or 19 knots, thousands of gallons of gas an hour. It's huge. It's massive amounts of money. And I'm wondering if this is a cost-cutting move. And they don't want to do it, but they got to do it. And the jury is out on this one. I'm waiting to see what happens. I really don't. It's Norwegian that's having issues. Okay. Bruce, no getting off in Antarctica, just viewing from the ship. You need an expedition ship for actual shore landings. Robert, hi, Bruce. Glad to hear Jen is doing well. Norwegian must be in trouble. The stock is now into the teens. Also, the same cruise from Boston to Bermuda has increased the balcony price by 45%. And this is what I'm curious about. I'm curious about whether they're having money issues. There was a quote from the CEO about a month and a half, 2 months ago, that they were reevaluating their entire cruise line. There was a full-blown reevaluation going on. And what I believe that means is that they're going to offer cruises from the USA, but not from Europe. They're not going to go into countries where the currency isn't as strong. I think what they want to do is buy fuel for their ships from American refineries, not from refineries in Spain or Italy or France, because the cost per liter is so much higher, cost per gallon. It's cheaper in the States. I think they want to use US dollars. They want to get US dollars for their money on board. I think they're going after the best demographic of Americans they can get, where they have more pricing power, maybe. I don't know. This is my. I've just got this vibe. It just won't go away. All right. Another piece of news for you that came out today or yesterday, and this one has this piece of news that I'm going to give you. This could be really game changing. I'm going to say game changing because this is going to affect everybody. This is really going to be something. By the way, thank you for these thumbs ups, everybody. It's not happy news. I'm definitely not giving you happy news today, and I apologize. I want to give you nothing but happy cruise news, but that's not always able to be done. We do have 28 thumbs ups, and I thank you very much for that. If you're able to hit that thumbs up button for us, please hit it. And those of you watching the rerun, thank you very much for hitting the thumbs up button for us. It is a tremendous thing that you're doing for us, giving us some exposure on YouTube. Thank you very much. We'd love to hit 100 every week. Okay. The news has come out that starting March 1, so that's in a very short period of time, they call it a VAT. It's called a value added tax, like a sales tax. It's going to be implemented by the Bahamian government on all cruise ship passengers who go off ships and go onto private islands like Castaway Cay or Coco Cay, obviously. The MSC private island, the Norwegian private island, Princess Cay, all the private islands that are being run by the cruise lines, including Virgin, they are no longer going to be exempt from the 10% tax on everything. So if you're going to go to Coco Cay and you bought a water pass for your 2 kids, you got one of those, ride the water slide, the water park over there, and you bought the one of the $100 packages on $200. I don't even know what the prices are. It doesn't matter. 10% more money for those rides automatically just kicked in. Drinks. Now, you know what it is to buy a drink on a cruise ship. You want to buy a drink on Coco Cay for $15, 20% mandatory tip or 18% tip. Now add a 10% tax on top of that. There's the government of Bahamas throwing a tax. That's also on the Disney properties. Think about these cabanas. They have these beachside cabanas that they're now promoting. I know that some of the cruise lines are building literally 2-story tall beachfront homes in the Coco Cay. They have these straw houses that are over the water. It looks like Fiji from the air, Those things are $1,000 a day minimum. Like they're $1,000 a day. You're now talking a $100 tax on top of this. This is going to change the dynamic. This is going to make some folks think twice about booking a cruise, because if you're thinking about a family getaway and it's now going to run you, $500 more in taxes just because of the Bahamas throwing the tax on, you got to wonder. Some of these cruise lines, I know that in Royal Caribbean's case, I believe some of the ships that they have do a 5 or 7 day cruise with 2 days at Coco Cay. They visit Coco Cay, they get off, go into the international waters, turn on the slot machines, come back, have a second day at Coco Cay, and then off you go. Now you're going to pay a 10% additional tax for any services that they charge you for. Because guess what? It's not all inclusive. You can get off the ship and go to Coco Cay and walk around. You can get in the water and all that, yeah, but you can't use all the amenities of Coco Cay. And certain restaurants are extra, certain bars are extra, certain water features are extra, and on and on and on it goes. I mean, Royal Caribbean has figured out how to, add a whole bunch of charges. And of course, if you're planning a wedding, think about this. You're planning a wedding at Coco Cay, and you're dropping $5,000 for the big package on the beach with the archway and seating and meals and drinks. I mean, whatever $500 more in fees, taxes, 10% coming in. So this could be an issue. The Bahamian government, by the way, does not know how much money they're going to collect in taxes, because they've never audited the books of the cruise lines to know how much they charge on board these private islands, because they've been exempt from the sales tax until now. This is a move by the Bahamian government that I actually have to commend them. I don't want to promote higher prices for cruisers, but I got to commend these guys in the Bahamian government, because frankly, where else are they going to go is the attitude they should have. They should take the attitude on the cruise lines, where else are you going to go? We're 45 miles to 90 miles away from the U.S. coast. You can get here in half a day sailing. You don't use a lot of fuel to get here. You have these private islands that are at least from us, and we now are going to take a piece of the action, and that's the bottom line, because the Bahamian government needs money to support its huge population that is in, many are in abject poverty, and they need all the help they can get. The cruise lines aren't volunteering it, so you've got to take it. It's just interesting to me to see how this is formulating out, and gotta say, for Bahamian government, if you were to fly into Nassau and stay at Paradise Island in the that beautiful resort they have there, I can't remember the name of it right now, and you were to spend, say, a week in that really big property with the water park there and the casino downstairs, you're going to be dropping $500 a night. There's packages I know that are like $1,000 a week and stuff, but there's also primo packages higher up with a view. You're paying top dollar, and you might go deep sea fishing, you might go golfing, you're going to play tennis, and the kids are going to be in the water park, and all that stuff. You're paying top dollar. These guys are getting top dollar from these visitors for a 1-week stay. Cruise ship passengers, what do? We don't even get off the ship in downtown Nassau. I mean, the ship comes into downtown Nassau, people don't even get off. That's just a stop for the Jones Act, and they're waiting to go elsewhere. Now, if you're going to offer any kind of a tour, any kind of a getaway, people spend money on land. They're going to try to collect some taxes, and if you're going to take the passengers away from downtown Nassau and away from Freeport, and you're going to take them to private islands, I get it. That's your right. You've built these places out. They're going to get a 10% tax on any activities to help the country. I guess help the education system, help their medical system, help police services, security, their Coast Guard, you name it. There it is. I guess that's what it is. Interesting dynamic over there, what's going on. This is going to be something to really be, I'm really going to watch this closely. I'm quite curious about it. Last thing I'll mention today, just to make the show a complete downer. Thank you for the thumbs ups, by the way. There's a story out that's been out in a couple of days about 2 women who claimed to be sexually assaulted in Freeport. And I did a video on my channel 6 years ago. The 10 most dangerous cruise ports, according to passengers. Number 1 most dangerous cruise port, Nassau, Bahamas. And the U.S. State Department comes out with a revised list of countries to watch out for. They give you sort of a warning system. They'll say something like, if you're going to go to Sudan in Africa, that's the biggest warning we can give you, not to go. Don't go there as an American. But in any event, the Bahamas gets I think a 2 or 3 star flag, or 3 flag warning, which is one short of as bad as it gets. The United States government has made no secret of the fact that they are telling Americans, look, if you're going to go to the Bahamas, you better be careful where you go and what you're going to do, because there are places in the Bahamas that aren't all that friendly to to some of you folks, depending on the circumstances. Again, Bahamians are great people. Bahamian people are wonderful. The problem is that there are some of them that aren't. Just like Canada, we have wonderful people in Canada, but we also have morons and crooks up here too. And so every country has their, troublemakers. Well, apparently these 2 ladies were on a Carnival Elation cruise ship, leaving, I believe, Jacksonville, 5-day cruise, if I'm not mistaken, and one of those visits were into the Bahamas. And from what I understand, they were able to take this cruise without the need of having a U.S. passport. You can take some of these cruises to the Bahamas without a U.S. passport. So they were in, I believe, Freeport or Freetown, and or Freeport, and they had noticed through Carnival's marketing that there was a day spa, a day resort that they could go to. If they got off the ship, they took a bus, they would be taken to this resort. They could enjoy the beach and have drinks on the beach and suntan, and then work their way back to the ship with the bus, and they wouldn't miss their cruise. And so they paid Carnival something like $60 each for this pass, and they went to this resort. It was two gals who've been lifelong friends, and they were on a kind of a mummy getaway trip. Two gals getting away from the family, getting a little break. Unfortunately, for the two of them, what ended up happening was they took advantage of a drink offer. It was a 2-for-1 special drink offer at this place, and story goes that whatever they were given was laced with some sort of a drug, and the two of them ended up very unwell. They didn't feel well. They were escorted to a bathroom area, and apparently they were assaulted and sexually assaulted, which is not great and not good at all. The reality is, however, that the resort where they were at has cameras, and the assailants were identified by staff and were arrested. The gals, unfortunately, were not able, they wanted to press charges, but they were not able to go through the entire police procedure because they were going to miss their ship, which was leaving that afternoon. And without a passport in the Bahamas, they would be in real trouble. They'd have to it would be delays and expenses. And so they decided that they wanted to press charges as far as the police would let them, but they wanted to get on the ship and get back home. Once on the ship, they were treated for some of their injuries by ship staff, and a blood test was taken by the cruise line. They took blood samples, and sure enough, it was confirmed that they had been drugged. To get back to the most dangerous cruise ports, to get back to that story, this goes to show that even two people together who are on a ship-organized event like this are still vulnerable to this kind of nonsense. It's criminal. It is the worst. It's unforgivable, and yet this is happening. And I can only say to all of you out there, no matter where you are, I get this all the time from my viewers. They tell me, Bruce, it doesn't matter what city you're talking about. This happens everywhere. I know. This happens to college kids in Canada and the United States and in England and Europe. They go out for a good time. They get a drink that has been laced with something, and there's all kinds of issues. I am aware of this. I'm not ignoring it, but gosh, it is so scary to see this kind of thing happening to people who are taking a cruise getaway. And here's a 4 or a 6 hour afternoon getaway, and to have this happen to two people on, what should be a pretty safe excursion is really unforgivable. In any event, I don't know how this is going to turn out at the end. I don't know how this will all come out when it's all said and done. It's a terrible story. I thought I would bring it to you. Kind of part of what I do, I guess. It's not one of my favorite stories, but I want you to be aware of it. But you must be at all times on guard, no matter what. And it's a sad story that when you're on a cruise vacation like this, for these two, it's been so long that they were able to enjoy themselves. To have this happen to them, it's just the worst. The Bahamas, I know they're trying. I'm sure they are, but boy, I tell you, we know we've been told time and time again, do not go to Jamaica off the beaten path. Do not go to the Bahamas off the beaten path. Do not, when you get to Honduras, go off the beaten path. For God's sake, don't go to El Salvador. Don't, stay with your group. But geez, how much is too much? And when is it impossible to even go for an outing in a Caribbean island? It's really unfortunate. In any event, that's all I can say. I don't have a moral to this story. It's just a terrible story, and that's just the way it's going. It's not fun. I saw them on the news, and my heart aches for those two. Yeah, this is going to last a lifetime. It's just terrible. Sharon, the other issue is that the hospital in the Bahamas refused to give them rape kits, which made prosecution almost impossible. And it's just terrible. Robert Bruce, the Bahamas Crime Morning was on the NBC National News tonight. There you are. And Pete, hi Bruce, just have been on Facebook with Mrs. She and 3 girlfriends are on Majestic Princess to Port Vila tomorrow. Ship is very good apparently. Cheers from Sydney. Beautiful news. I love this kind of stuff. Thank you all so very much for being here with me again tonight. Every once in a while it's happy news, sometimes it's not. But thanks again for joining me on the big show here. We talk about cruise ships, the good, the bad, everything else, and we don't want to sugarcoat it. We just get to the point. EM74, guys, listen to this guy, Bruce. He knows what he's talking about. He's a smart man. Hey, Bruce, it's me, Emily from New York. Welcome, and thank you for saying hi. It's great to see you. Thank you all so much for these thumbs ups, you guys. It's much appreciated. I hope all your travels, no matter where you're going, are safe travels, and I hope that you all have a great week. Take care of yourselves, be well, and catch me again next Monday. I might be off next Monday. It's President's Day next week, I think, Monday. So I got to check with Jen. What are your plans? She's getting better. So we'll see if we're on Monday or not. But you can keep an eye open for the notifications if I am on. Join me live or catch me on the rerun. Thank you again for helping this channel achieve a thumbs up total that defies logic every week. 100 thumbs ups seems to come in here. It's just unbelievable. 42 are already in the house. And I thank you all so much for being able to help us with that. There are 42 people watching. We have 42 thumbs ups have come in already. And those of you on the rerun out there, if you're able to get us over the top, I would appreciate it. We love getting 100 if that's possible. Who in the world is Emily from New Rochelle? Sharon, have a great week. Happy Valentine's Day. EM74, she's laughing. EM, what's up, Thomas? Robert, another great show. Yes, me from New Rochelle, she says. Fantastic. Thank you, kids, so much. Have yourselves a great rest of the week. And we'll see you here next Monday, hopefully, if not the Monday after that for sure. And we'll keep you posted on how Auntie Jen is doing and how we're coming along on our travel planning as we move along here week to week on the recovery road that we're on. Again, thank you all for your kind words, your support. Have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you next time. It's Bruce from Palm Desert, California, saying bye for now. See you next time. Take care.